was sitting in a traffic light the other day, and in front of me was this trendy looking little crossover. On the rear window was a sticker that caught my attention. It really wasn't the first time I've seen something like it, but it did seem appropriate because I was gearing up for this week's topic, of course. The sticker, well, it said, "Born to rock, forced to work." Well, I don't think anyone can live a full life on a bumper sticker philosophy. And just as if to prove that, it wasn't 10 seconds went by and I saw another kind of trick-looking little car, and on the back of its hatch it said, "I love bacon." Well, that Born to Rock one revealed ever so much more, I think, than its owner ever intended to. So out of the window hung this really burly tattooed arm, but it was clear that from what you could see in the rear window, with a kid's bike and a mom and some children, that there was a lot more going on in that car. And it seemed as if the message there was that this man was stuck in the intersection between what he wanted to do in life and what he felt like he had to be. You know, it's a funny irony that we almost feel a pity for the man who says he has to work, while we seem either to respect the man who chooses to work, and maybe for some of us we even marvel at the person who says, "I love to work." I guess every generation has their own handful of representative icons. We've all laughed at Dilbert, or maybe felt some understanding for Homer Simpson, maybe. And then at the other end of the spectrum, there's Gordon Gekko. You remember Gordon. And that well-known phrase from the Wall Street movie, greed, he said, for a lack of a better word. Well, greed is good, greed is right, and he wrapped it up by saying, greed works. Well, of course, phrases such as, "do what you love and the money will follow," have found their way easily into our everyday dialogue. Tell that to a starving writer, or an actress whose star never seems to rise. So where do we find the balance? And why is the value, the nobility, the purpose of work one of the 6 things that we felt important enough to include in just 6 weeks of what every parent needs to understand? Well, first, for most of us, work means the thing which we do to provide for our needs and those whom we love and care about. So that's pretty important. But second, work creates within each of us a clear awareness that very little in life is brought about just by luck or magic or happenstance. Good things are designed, good things are brought into existence because humans dedicate much of their thought and their effort to that achievement. This fact alone helps us to understand and appreciate God just a little bit more. You know, the world we call home, everything we share in it, it's the result of creative thought, careful planning, and diligent effort. All part of work. And so central to this is God's heart and his purpose for humanity, and that is that the first man was placed in a garden to work it. He and his wife were given the garden, and they were to share in the process of that work. Third, work is done in service to others. It's one of our highest callings as humans. This thought should lead us to many interesting conversations with children. While many times we forget this, the purpose of work is to provide useful services and goods to the benefit of others, as well as for ourselves. I mean, we may receive a paycheck because we work, but we work not only for that check, we work in order to serve the needs and even the desires of other people, people around us, people we care about, sometimes people we'll never meet. And we also work to steward the earth. And the pay we get, well, that's actually the byproduct of our work. Well, fourth, our work is one of the chief ways in which we express our creativity and find satisfaction in life. We're able to give God honor as we use the gifts that he has given to us and the raw materials that are all around us in his supply. And we combine them and create from them innovation. And we demonstrate that we are image bearers of God as we do that. Our toil brings blessing and provision and joy to others as well as satisfaction to ourselves. That's important to remember. So help your children, whatever their age, to understand that work is about so much more than just the process by which we gain some money to pay the bills. Teach them that as princes and princesses in the kingdom of heaven, they have the great and high privilege to bring noble and intelligent service to others. So tonight, take some time to talk in your group. Talk about that for a few moments.